Good morning/afternoon, everyone. Let me ask you something. How many of you woke up today ready to conquer the world? How many of you jumped out of bed with fire in your soul, ready to push past the limits of yesterday? Or did you hit snooze? See? That's the difference between those who want success and those who live it. Champions don't wait for motivation. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They get up and grind. Motivation is a great spark, but it's not the fuel that keeps the fire burning. It comes and goes like a fleeting burst of energy after watching an inspiring video or hearing an uplifting speech. It feels good in the moment, but what happens when the excitement fades, when you're exhausted, when the results aren't coming fast enough? That's where discipline steps in. Discipline is the backbone of every great achievement. It's the commitment to show up day after day, regardless of how you feel. It's lacing up your shoes and hitting the pavement when you'd rather sleep in. It's putting in the extra reps, the extra hours, and the extra effort, even when no one is watching. The people who win in life aren't the ones who wake up every day feeling motivated. They're the ones who wake up and get to work, even when they don't feel like it. Think about the elite athletes, the top CEOs, the game changers of the world. Do you think they're always pumped up to train, to strategize, to grind? No, but they do it anyway because they've built the muscle of discipline. They've trained themselves to push through discomfort, to ignore excuses, and to execute the plan no matter what. When you rely on motivation, you're a slave to your emotions. You'll work hard when you feel like it and slack off when you don't. But discipline doesn't care about feelings. Discipline is a promise you make to yourself, a standard you refuse to break. It's waking up at 5 a.m. because you said you would. It's pushing through the tough moments because your commitment is bigger than your mood. And here's the best part. Discipline compounds. Every time you push through resistance, you strengthen your ability to keep going. The more you train your mind to do hard things, the easier it becomes. Over time, what once felt impossible becomes second nature. The habits you build today will determine where you stand a year from now. So, if you want real lasting success, stop chasing motivation, build discipline, show up no matter what. Because when motivation fades, and it will, discipline will be the force that carries you to the finish line. Everybody wants success. Everybody loves the idea of standing on the podium, crossing the finish line, or seeing their name at the top. But the truth is, success isn't about that final moment. It's about the thousands of unseen moments before it. It's about the work, the struggle, the repetition, and the grind that nobody claps for. The people who achieve greatness aren't just obsessed with winning, they are obsessed with the process of getting there. Too often, people focus only on the end result. They set goals, they dream big, and they imagine what it will feel like to reach the top. But when the reality of hard work kicks in, when progress is slow, when setbacks happen, when things get uncomfortable, that's when most people quit. Why? Because they never learned to love the grind. They were only in it for the reward. The grind is where real growth happens. It's in the early mornings and late nights, in the sacrifices, in the moments when you feel like nothing is happening but you keep pushing anyway. It's in the repetition, the failures, the frustrations that test your patience and your commitment. Every champion, every top performer, every person who has ever achieved something great has faced these same moments. What sets them apart is that they didn't resist the grind, they embraced it. The most successful people don't just tolerate the work, they find joy in it. They find meaning in the challenge, in the small improvements, in the lessons learned along the way. They don't just show up when they feel like it. They show up because they know that every rep, every step, every struggle is shaping them into the person who is capable of achieving their goal. And here's the thing, if you only love the goal, you will struggle. Goals take time. Results aren't instant. There will be days, weeks, even months when it feels like you're making no progress. But if you love the grind, if you love the act of improving, then you're unstoppable. Because no matter how long it takes, you'll keep going. You won't be waiting for motivation or external validation. You'll be driven by something deeper. So ask yourself, are you chasing a finish line, or are you willing to fall in love with the miles before it? Because the people who win aren't just those who want success. They're the ones who earn it, one gritty, determined step at a time. Life is not a straight path. It's not a predictable, smooth road where you can set a plan and expect everything to go exactly as you imagined. It's full of twists, detours, and roadblocks that will challenge you in ways you never expected. The people who thrive aren't the ones who resist change or cling to their original plans. They're the ones who adapt, pivot, and find new ways forward when things don't go as expected. Adaptation is one of the greatest skills you can develop because the only constant in life is change. Industries evolve, opportunities shift, and challenges appear out of nowhere. The people who survive, and more importantly, the people who win, are the ones who don't just react to change, they anticipate it. They don't sit around complaining when things don't go their way. They assess, adjust, and keep moving forward. Think about the most successful businesses, athletes, and leaders in the world. They didn't get to where they are by doing the same thing over and over again, hoping it would always work. They stayed ahead because they embraced change. They learned new skills. They adapted their strategies. They stayed flexible while staying committed to their vision. But adaptation isn't just about external changes. It's also about your mindset. If you refuse to let go of old habits, outdated beliefs, or comfort zones that no longer serve you, you will get left behind. Growth requires constant evolution. What worked for you yesterday may not work for you tomorrow. The key is to recognize when it's time to shift gears, when it's time to let go of what's not working, and when it's time to push yourself into something new, even if it's uncomfortable. Being adaptable doesn't mean abandoning your goals. It means being willing to take a different route to get there. It means staying open-minded, learning from failure, and being relentless in finding solutions. Because in the end, the people who succeed aren't the ones who had a perfect plan from the start. They're the ones who are willing to adjust, to evolve, and to keep pushing forward no matter what obstacles stood in their way. So the question is, are you willing to adapt? Or will you let the fear of change hold you back? Because in this fast-moving world, there's only one truth. You either adapt or you get left behind. No one climbs to the top alone. No one wins championships, builds empires, or creates lasting success without a strong team. It's easy to think that personal grit, talent, and determination are all you need to succeed. But the truth is, the people around you can either push you forward or hold you back. The most successful individuals in the world understand that their greatest power doesn't just come from their own abilities. It comes from the strength of the team they surround themselves with. A strong team is not just a group of people working toward the same goal. It's a collective force that lifts each other up when things get tough. It's having people who challenge you, who hold you accountable, who refuse to let you settle for anything less than your best. It's knowing that when you're exhausted, when you're questioning yourself, when you're ready to give up, there's someone beside you who will remind you why you started in the first place. Look at any great achievement in history, whether it's in sports, business, or innovation, and you'll see that behind every leader, behind every game-changing idea was a team of people who made it happen. It's never just one person. It's a collective effort where strengths are combined, weaknesses are covered, and together, the impossible becomes possible. But here's the thing, not all teams are created equal. If you surround yourself with people who complain, who settle, who make excuses, that energy will rub off on you. You won't even realize it, but over time, your standards will drop. Your ambition will fade. Your dreams will start to feel out of reach. That's why choosing the right team is just as important as the work you put in yourself. You need people who push you to be better. People who challenge you when you're making excuses, people who inspire you to level up, not hold you back. And teamwork isn't just about receiving support, it's about giving it. The best teams aren't built on competition or ego, they're built on trust, on sacrifice, on a shared commitment to something bigger than any one individual. If you want strong teammates, you need to be a strong teammate. That means showing up for others, being dependable, and recognizing that success is not just about you, it's about us. At the end of the day, your team is your foundation. You can be talented, driven, and relentless, but if you try to do everything alone, you'll hit a ceiling. But when you have the right people in your corner, when you build relationships that challenge and strengthen you, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Because success isn't just about how strong you are, it's about how strong you all are together. Pain is an unavoidable part of the journey to success. It's the struggle, the discomfort, the exhaustion, and the moments of doubt that test your willpower. It's the soreness after pushing your body past its limits, the frustration of failure, the late nights grinding when everyone else is asleep. But here's what most people forget. Pain is temporary. It doesn't last forever. It fades, it passes. And what's left is what you chose to do in the face of it. Quitting, on the other hand, is permanent. The moment you give up, you cut off every possibility of success. You shut the door on your progress, your growth, and everything you've worked for up until that point. The pain of pushing through is nothing compared to the pain of regret. The regret of knowing you could have done more, but you walked away. Every person who has ever achieved something great has faced moments when they wanted to quit. Every champion, every trailblazer, every high achiever has been in situations where it felt like too much, where they questioned if it was worth it. But the difference between them and everyone else is that they kept going. They understood that pain is part of the process, not a reason to stop. Think about it. The pain of training fades, but the strength you build lasts. The frustration of setbacks fades, but the lessons you learn stay with you. The exhaustion of working late nights, of sacrificing comfort, of staying disciplined when no one is watching, all of that is temporary. But the success you build because of it, that's forever. Pain is the price of growth. It's how you level up. It's how you separate yourself from the people who only say they want success, from the people who earn it. If you're feeling pain, that means you're in the middle of the process. And that's exactly where you're supposed to be, because the breakthrough comes right after the hardest part. But quitting guarantees that you never get there. Quitting means that every ounce of effort, every sacrifice, every hour you put in was for nothing. It means letting fear, discomfort, and self-doubt win. And once you start quitting, it becomes a habit. It becomes easier to walk away every time things get tough. And before you know it, quitting becomes your default response to every challenge. So, when the pain comes, and it will come, don't see it as a signal to stop. See it as proof that you're getting stronger. See it as the price of entry for success. And most importantly, remember that pain is temporary. It will pass. But if you quit, you'll never know what was waiting for you on the other side. And that's a pain that never goes away. Champions aren't made when the sun is shining, when things are easy, when everyone is cheering. They are made in the moments of doubt, fatigue, and adversity, when they choose to get up and grind anyway. So, what's it going to be? Are you going to sit back and let life happen to you, or are you going to stand up, push forward, and make it happen? The choice is yours. Let's get after it.